Joining me today is Martin from Comply Direct. So over to you, Martin.
Thanks very much, Robert. Hi everyone, my name is Martin. I'm from Comply Direct. We're an environmental consultancy that we've been working with MorsaPack on putting together a bit of a summary of the plastic tax as we move into the close of the year. So today we're going to be going through a bit of background, some timeline and kind of an overview of the tax. Then we'll be going through some definitions and a bit more about the scope, who's going to be impacted, what the liability is going to be, how you actually measure recycled content, which is quite key within the tax, how you evidence that, and then ultimately how we'll be completing registrations with HMRC as well as returns and enforcement. We'll then go on to a bit more kind of specific stuff around data collection. What we don't know as well, I think, is a good focus here because there's still a lot to be clarified. Then we will also have an update from MorsaPack, from Robert at the end, and then we will finish with some questions. So for those not familiar with the GoToWebinar launcher, you should have in the top right corner, you should have access to a little set of questions or a questions tab. So if you just want to pop that out, and as we go through the webinar, if anything pops into your mind, please do ask the questions and then we'll get round to them all at the end. So brilliant. To start off with, I just wanted to talk a bit about background to the tax. So the key aim of today is the plastic packaging tax, which will be coming into force in the UK from April next year. But where this has come from in terms of a policy measure, it was actually announced back in late 2018, early 2019 as part of the government's resources and waste strategy. What that resources and waste strategy does is its aim is to increase the amount of materials that we use in an efficient manner and increase the amount of recycling we do in the UK in total. So it's currently this tax planned to come in from April next year. It will be set at £200 per tonne. So for every tonne of plastic packaging placed on the market, in theory, a £200 value tax could apply on that. It is actually the first attempt of its kind at a direct material tax on plastic. Although it has taken a while for the UK to implement it, it is theoretically a new kind of tax on material. And it will apply to all plastic packaging, which is either manufactured in the UK or imported into the UK, with an exception around 30% recycled content. So when we talk about recycled content today, the big figure to keep in the back of your mind is that if something has 30% recycled content, it is not considered, or sorry, it is still reportable under the tax, but it doesn't pick up the £200 per tonne. Whilst if it's less than 30% recycled content, it would ultimately pick up that tax. Now, the way this is going to be managed is looking at packaging where it's predominantly plastic by weight. So what do we mean when we say predominantly plastic? Well, in this case, we mean something where the constituent individual materials of a packaging component, plastic is the material which makes up the greatest individual percentage. So you might have something that's 60% plastic and 40% aluminium. That would be a plastic component, but you might also have something that's 40% plastic, 30% aluminium and 30% steel. That would be considered plastic because plastic is the single greatest constituent material by weight. Overall, as a measure, this tax is aimed at creating an additional demand for recycled content by incentivizing businesses to move to higher recycled content in their packaging and ultimately divert that material away from landfill or incineration.